This is Jeff the Whatifer, and today me and What If Jack are going to do What if Deku was in the Loud House, or was adopted by the Loud House family? So you might be thinking, Jeff, how are you gonna do Jeff and Jack, how are you gonna do this? This is stupid. I know, but we are stupid, so it is made for us. so so yeah. Anyways, you wanna take it off, Jack?
So Izuku, everything goes up to canon. He's so quirkless. Baku still tells him he killed himself in school and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He continues on to that. And the Sushman incident, of course, happens, and All Might offers Izuku's quirk, which he agrees,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
But this time.
But this time, this training's more intense
Mm-hmm.
than usual, and All Might is a lot smarter than this.
Mm-hmm. Instead of just picking up trash, just trash, he gave Izuku to clean up, like a regiment to clean up all of the trash in Dagobah Beach in in an amount of time of 5 months. Plus, he
Mm.
gave him Saitama's regiment, but he won't get Saitama's power.
No, have better physique.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, which.
And after 5 month mark, he finished.
Mm-hmm. Which Omat was like, "I'm proud of you, young Midoriya." Anyways, here, eat this. Which he takes out high, and Izuku still has the same expression. By the way, if you want to know how built Izuku is, he is. Let's just say he is very lean and very muscular. Like it's very fucking compacted.
It's like Garo. He doesn't see you don't see much of his muscle.
Yeah, if he takes off the shirt, it fucking Sung Jin.
Yep.
So yeah, which Izuku, alright, he basically after that day, after he ate the quirk, after he ate All Might's hair, and getting the one
Mhm.
for all, he started training with All Might on how to control it. Which All Might saw that he didn't know how to use it in the proper way. Which he's like, Midoriya, yeah, give me a second, I have to call somebody. Which he calls Grand Trainer's like, Grand Trainer, I need your help. Which then Grand Trainer's like, oh, Toshinori, what do you need my help with? He's like, can you come and train the next user of the next user of One for All, or my successor? Which Grand Trainer's like, sure, and I'm gonna make it way harder than yours. Which All Might shivers because he remembers what Grand Trainer put him through.
Mhm.
Which
Izuku's no coward.
hmm which then Gran Torino, okay, came there and he's like, you're the new successor of One for All. Bit wimpy for my taste. But anyways, let's start this. Which he told him how to use One for All correctly, in the correct way. Like
He developed full cowling.
like a full cowling, which he
Not
can
just full cowling,
control.
also shoot style.
Yes, and he not just shoot style, like shoot and like fists and feet. And he told him not to copy All
Mhm.
Might and be his own hero. Which
Mhm.
yeah, which
Which my man's way better than All Might because he actually has technique with
yes,
his strikes.
yes, and Gran Torino also called Aizawa to train Izuku too in technique.
Mm-hmm.
And he has Gran
She
Torinos
taught him the
and
way of the
Aizawas
scarf.
too. Which
The way of the scarf.
Aizawa calls Izuku problem child, but it's gonna change later on into something else that will be funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, which is Gran Torino and Izuku and All Might have been training for the past, let's just say 5 months on how to control for Izuku, which then Izuku just basically, what do you call it?
Was meditating one day. He was meditating.
He was
Focusing.
meditating until he fell asleep, but then he opened his eyes and he saw he was in a black void, and he saw that his whole entire face, he can speak because he has control over 25% this time.
Mm-hmm.
Which because of the control of 25%, he can talk and he has one hand. Which then Izuku sees the One for All users. He's like, who are you guys, basically? Because we're gonna keep Izuku's the same personality just for the comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a tiny bit more confident, a tiny bit. But he's still the same Izuku. which then you know
Mhm.
which then you know Nana Shimura, she's like, we're the past user of a one for all, basically, and you're in the quirk core, which Izuku was shocked, and you saw the past of the first user,
Mhm.
and the first user is like you, so you're the ninth, which you know Izuku basically he's like yeah, which you know they have a little conversation, you know, which then
So wait, I have a good idea.
hmm,
Wait, who was the guy who overtrained One for All? I heard there was like one user that trained One for All to his maximum limit to make it stronger.
I'm pretty sure it was the guy with the it was the
With
guy with the
who?
black whip.
Yeah. Oh no, here's the guy with Danger Sense.
Oh yeah.
He overtrained it.
Mhm. So then
And he actually asked about his training regimen, which she gave it to him.
mhm. Which once he gave it to him, he woke up and he felt two new powers on him. Which you know, he
Mm-hmm.
first he tried using black whip and it's extended for 6 meters.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried
Then
floating.
he was like, why?
He floated 5 inches off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Which then All Might and Gran Torino saw this, their jaws drop. Which then which then you know Izuku basically said that he met the one for all users, and they gave him
Mm-hmm.
they gave him their quirks. Which All Might
Mm-hmm. And also
which All Might Gran Torino they were shocked.
oh my, shocked.
Hmm.
He's shocked.
He's like, that's Master's quirk. Which, you know, Gran Torino's like, yeah, that's Nana Shimura's. And.
Also, I got a new training regimen now.
Mm-hmm,
I'm about to go train for a while.
mm-hmm. And Gran Torino's like, we will help you train with Float and Black Whip also. Because he doesn't know how to
Uh,
train Black Whip and Float. He knows how to train One for All, but not Black Whip and Float. Which, you know, Izuku first trains Black Whip and Float with the Gran Torino and All Might. Which, you know, he can float, or he can fly, but only for like 10 minutes.
It's like he can top fly for 10 minutes, but he can still jump super high.
Hmm. And Black Whip, he can use it like Spider-Man.
Yep, Spider-Man basically.
Yes. So then you
For
know,
one for all, one
which
for
then,
all.
though, which then the
Man.
day of the UA entrance exam comes, which then Izuku
Mm-hmm.
basically goes with nobody. He just goes there and he stares at the place. Is like, I'm ready to become a hero. Which then you know he goes there, but he doesn't trip this time. So
He's more confident.
he doesn't
More
meet.
confident.
Yes. He doesn't meet the bitch, the hoe herself, Uraraka. I'm sorry for
Yeah,
Uraraka fans. I'm not an Uraraka fan.
I'm sorry, we are not Uraka fans. Don't blame us. We don't blame us. We blame people who made what ifs about them here bad.
Yes. Which, yeah. Which, you know, he went inside and President Mike was like, "Can I get a hey?" Which then, you know, nobody does it, but then Izuku says, "Hey," because he feels that the tension will get worse if he doesn't. Which then President Mike smiles and says, "Thanks, kid." Which then, you know, which then he explains the same shit. Which then you know Ira basically
Mhm.
stands up. He's like, "You haven't explained the fourth robot, and there's four. You only explained three. There's four robots on the planet. If this is a mistake from UA, I'm highly disappointed. And you," which he points to Izuku. He's like, "Stop muttering," because Izuku was muttering a little bit. Which then you know
It's
Izuku
like,
says,
what are you gonna do about it? Come on, you reserving the class.
hmm? Which then Ira gets a little bit embarrassed and sits down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know they go to the written exam, which Izuku aces it. Because Gran Torino also taught Izuku shit, and so does All Might.
Actually, no, Izuku is smart. He's naturally smart, and he
Yes.
studies a lot.
Yes. So, yeah, that happened, and
He's first place this time.
yep.
They line up.
Which, you know, once the gates opened, he immediately ran out, and the students were confused. But then President Mike said, "What are you doing? Follow that kid's lead. The forest green, the forest-haired kid, the green forest-haired kid's lead. There's no countdown in real battle." Which then you know they all rush out, but Izuku is destroying robots after robots.
It's a Flash at this point.
And yeah, which then you know, let's cut to the teacher's perspective. Which then you know, Nazu sips on his tea and he's like, "There's an interesting batch this year. which he then
He sees Izuku doing multiple quirks at the same time.
he has Black Whip, just to fucking go around and fucking use them all for all.
Hmm.
Which then he's like,
Hmm.
what's his quirk? Which All Might basically says he has enhancement and Black Whip and float. Which they are shocked that he has three quirks.
And
But
Nezu knows because that he has one
Nezu and
for.
All Might and Gran Torino know.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
Gran
Aizawa.
Torino's in there. Which, and also Aizawa, but yeah. Which, Aizawa says that I bring that kid into my class. Which, Principal Nezu says, yeah, sure. Which then Izuku basically was destroying robots, and he sat down on a fucking, he floated up or flew up to a building and sat down on the edge, and he
Mm-hmm.
started drawing some
And
shit.
then there's a point that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he was drawing. Let's just say he was drawing fucking him beating the crap out
Mm-hmm.
of villains.
Mm-hmm.
He like fucking Deadpool.
All the ways that he can beat villains.
Uh huh. Which then, the ground rumbles and he sees eye. Which he jumps down. And nothing happens to his bones or nothing because he had one for all active. Which then he's like
Mhm.
finally a challenge. Which he starts
And he
running.
sees 0 pointer. He sees Uraraka stuck in the rubble.
Mm-hmm. Which then goes and picks her, goes and saves her. He's like, "Are you okay?" She's blushing. She says, "Yeah." Which because of Izuku has headphones right now
Mm-hmm.
because she thought he was rich. But yeah, which Izuku basically just jumps up or like floats up, uses one for all's electricity. He can manipulate the electricity because of Black Whip. Which then he uses Black Whip and the electricity of one for all to make a huge bomb. Which he threw it down and the robot disintegrated. It's basically an electricity bomb a copy of the spirit bomb.
Which all my shocks. Like he didn't show this in training.
But yeah, he is proud of him. Which then
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Which then he fucking went and recovery girl came and said basically who's injured and who's injured come up here. Which then Izuku places Uraka down. He's like her ankle was broken. Which recovery girl goes and kisses her high. Which then recovery girl notices something. That she has a lot of diabetes, a lot of STDs and shit. Which then she basically held her lips together like that, basically, and then she went and healed the other students. But before that, she basically, let's just say, she had a one-time usage of a teleportation quirk, or like a teleportation device, which then she teleported back to the bathroom, cleaned her mouth with soap 5 times and came back, and then went and healed the other students, and gave Izuku gummy bears because he was a little bit tired. Which Izuku basically which then Izuku noticed that what she did, and he said in his mind, "Nah, fam, if recovery goes like that, nah." Which then he fucking she said, "Thank you for saving me. My name is Joko Uraka." He's like, "My name is Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you." Then he said, "Alright, I gotta go." Which then he bolts away.
He bolts. Like
Yes.
it's like the Flash.
Yes. So
Yeah, so
2 weeks pass, and the first day, like the letter comes, which he gets the same thing, but this time he's like, Omet basically was like, "Young Midoriya, you have scored over 300 villain points, and you rescued Miss Uraraka, and also you also rescued the other students." Which then he basically says you gained around 90 hero points, which in total gives you around 390 points, beating my score. I never thought you would beat my score, young Midoriya, but welcome to your Hero Academia, and you've been accepted.
Izuku was shocked. Like he beat All Might score.
Which he was crying, and then Inko came and hugged him. She's like, "I'm proud of you," which Izuku basically said thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Which then his mom came in with a guitar. Jack, I'm switching it up. We're not making that shit. We're making his mom give it to him. So that's more special.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which then she basically went and gave him an electrical guitar because she noticed how Izuku was a fan of electrical guitars and shit. Which she bought him it and as a reward or like a fucking gift for entering UA. Which then Izuku basically hugged his mom and kissed her on the forehead and he's like, "Thank you, mom." She's like, "No problem,
Yeah.
sweetie." And which he goes into his room and he basically, let's just say,
He's watching YouTube videos how to jam out, which he learns
yeah,
quickly.
yes, he learned a lot. And also, none of the disclaimer. I don't own any of these songs that I'll put later on.
And we don't know own any of these
Yes,
songs.
we do
No,
not
we
know
own
any of
none of
them.
them. We're just using them for the story.
Yes.
So
So
yeah. Anyway,
so yeah,
entrance
which
exam.
yeah,
No. The
first day
quirk
of UA.
assessment.
Yeah, first day of UA and quick assessment. Which then
Mhm.
Izuku basically went to what do you call it?
Yeah, and
The
Bakugo tried to attack. Bakugo's like, "Why are you your quirkless nerd?" Just like, "Cause I'm in UA."
mhm
Like, you idiot.
mhm. Which then basically Ira came rushing the same way and he did the same thing. Which Izuku and Ira are gonna be best friends here. Okay.
Yeah, but best friends.
Yes. So then Izuku basically was what do you call it? Well, it went down and sat down before Uraki came behind him and tapped him on the shoulder.
Mhm.
Which
It's
yeah.
like, yeah. Anyway, so
You want to
Zawa
continue?
comes up. Zawa comes up and it's like, "Oh, we're going to a quirk assessment test. Go out to the school field, or you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be expelled."
Which then all
You
of
know.
them rush out basically, and they were
Actually, no,
which
let's say Zuko rushed out. It's like, but Rock was like, "What about orientation?" It's like, "Did you not hear me?"
mm-hmm.
He-
She's like, but
Mhm.
orientation. He's like, fuck it, go to your orientation. I don't care. Which then Uraka went to orientation.
She smelled.
Mm-hmm. Which then Aizawa said, fucking fucking prick,
Mm-hmm.
because she doesn't want to listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, which once they go down, the girls are staring at Zuko and they're a little bit nose bleeding because it was too tight on them, and it shows his figure.
Mm-hmm. When Izuku's like, all right, Izuku, you got, all right, problem child, you got first place.
Mm-hmm.
He's
How
not
much
throw
did
the
you
ball.
score in middle school, basically without using quirk? He's like around 80, which he's like okay, now throw it using your quirk, which
He's like, all right,
Izuku basically Izuku charges one for
man,
all around
Superman
to
is the ball.
35%. Okay, that's his maximum right
Mm-hmm.
now. Charges up to
He Superman's the
35%.
ball.
Yes. No.
Superman's it.
35%. Then use Black Whip and fucking kept swinging it around. You know how Spider-Man in the games grabbed like a fucking tank or a fucking boulder and kept swinging it around like around and around, then threw it away really far?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He did that and he launched it around 100,000 meters. Which Aizawa was
Nice.
shocked, and he basically showed the class, which they were all shocked at the score. Which then Mina says, "Oh, this we can use our quirks. This is gonna be fun." Which Aizawa says, "Fun? Okay, the last place gets expelled." Which everything goes. What do you call it? Not similar to canon.
Yeah, but Izuku's in first place at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Bob Pro.
Except for the side to side lunges because of Mineta.
Who is actually looks better? Do we actually make that look better? Actually,
No,
oh yeah, no.
no.
I'm joking. I'm joking here. This
I
man's too much
know,
of
I
a
know,
perv.
I know you're joking, but no. Which, yeah, which days pass by and the USJ, they go to the USJ. Everything doesn't happen. The villains don't attack yet.
They saved. They don't attack yet. That's gonna come later.
Yes, because Shigaraki at this time isn't as big as of a man child.
He's still a
Like
man child, regardless.
he's still a man child, but this time he said we will attack the next one because this one All Might didn't come and there's no point.
hmm So yeah, and
So
so
yeah.
we got some good training from that.
Mhm. So yeah.
And for the sports, and it's just like, when the sports festival was announced, this man went, all right, time to go for some extreme training.
Mhm. Which he trained a lot. And basically, do you want him to save one of them, like Lucy, Luna? Which one do you want him to save first? Like now, so that they can
Lucy.
Lucy.
Yep.
Which one is it?
Arrow.
Which one's Lucy? I forgot. Is it the
No.
Rockstar one?
Emo one.
Which one? Emo?
Yep. Emo.
You know, she was walking down the street. People were giving her like weird stares and shit like that because,
Stank guy.
hmm
They gave her the stank guy.
yeah, because she looked like she was emo. Which
Mm-hmm.
then she went to a cafe. She went and sat down. Which then what do you call it? Izuku went to this cafe as well because yeah he wanted to get something. Which then ordered
So they
something and
will
he
avoid
saw
the
that all
junkie
the
train.
tables were not free.
Mhm.
Which then Izuku basically went and sat down at the table, and then he noticed in front of him Lucy, which she's like, I was sitting at this table. Which Izuku jumped back a little. He's like, when were you here? I'm sorry, miss. Which he fucking, I'm sorry, miss. Which or sorry. Which he fucking stands up, and he was about to leave. She's like, it's okay, you can sit down. Which Izuku said thank you. Which he sat down basically. He,
They get to talk. They get to talk to know each other.
and he's like, so, like, it was dead silence. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
so, what's your name? She's like, Lucy Loudhouse.
He's like, oh, my name is Zuko Midoriya.
No, her name is Zukudoria. Nice to meet you, Lucy. Which he brings out a hand for a handshake. Which she fucking she,
Slowly
like,
takes it.
hmm she accepts it slowly.
She never got a handshake because corpus.
hmm Which
It's
then
like it's like everyone's looking at them weird. It's like, why is everyone looking at us weird? It's like, because I'm corpus.
he's like, so, what's the matter
So
with that?
what's the matter with that?
I
You
used to be
have more potential.
I used to be quick to steal, but I'm a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Like, wait, really? Really?
is
It's like, yep.
yep. Which the coffee comes, and the waiter, okay, who hated Lucy, wanted to spill the coffee on her. Which then Izuku used 35% of one for all. It moved like slow motion. He went to grab the coffee and fucking
No, it was
put
like
it
a
normally.
flash. It's
No,
slow motion.
yeah. Chuck from Angry Birds, how he moves so fast, it was like slow motion. Which he's like, take this. Like it was moving so slow. Which then Izuku basically went and grabbed the coffee cup and put every single drop into the coffee and put it down on the table. Which then he went and grabbed every single hot thing, and he moved him, grabbed every single hot thing and spilled it on him or like put it above him. He took his wallet, took $5, put it on the counter, and then he wrote on it. You deserve it. And then he went back and sat down, and he put leg over leg, and he snapped his fingers, or like deactivated one for all, which then everything happened so fast. She was expecting hot coffee on her head, which then she didn't see it, and then she heard splashes. She looked to the left and she saw the coffee or like the waiter just being spilled on, and he's screaming like in pain. Which then she looked in front of her and she saw Izuku like whistling and looking away, just so that he doesn't seem suspicious.
He actually starts laughing a little bit.
Yes, basically he just chuckled once, and then once Lucy looked at him, he started whistling and just looking away.
Mhm.
Which she's like, thanks. He's like, yeah, no problem. Which
Mhm.
they basically talk and hang out. Which Izuku basically said, "Could you?" He's like, "I'm gonna be in the sports festival next week. Could you, I sure as hope you could cheer me." Basically, like that.
It's like,
Or
yeah,
no,
I'm gonna got my family there too to see.
or
Wait,
not
what, really?
family, like on the TV, basically, because all the
It's like,
tickets are already sold out.
And this is like, oh yeah, we're going to watch on the TV.
He's like,
My
hey,
family.
he's like, hey, thanks. Which then, Izuku basically said, all right, see you, Lucy. Which he fucking started running away or like
Should we say
walking
Lucy
away.
blushed when she left? When he left?
But her
Yeah.
hair was covering it. But she like you could see a little bit of pink. And then she just walked back home and put a normal composure, and everything went normal in
Mm-hmm.
the loud house.
Mm-hmm.
Which then Izuku trained intensely, for a
Man
week,
did.
and he can control over 40% of one for all now.
Also, he's a master in martial arts now. He
Yes.
actually practiced
So then who do you want him to meet? Who do you want him to meet now?
with me now.
The sports girl in the park.
Sports girl in the park. Better.
Yes. Which then Izuku basically, or her name is Lin, Lin Loud.
Lin.
Yeah.
Lin Loud. There you go.
Yeah.
Lin Loud
Which
Jr.
I think she put the name Junior just for fucking LeBron or something.
Yeah. Anyway,
Which
which my man was just doing some basketball real quick.
mhm.
He's
Like
taking a break.
let's just say like she was sitting on a bench because nobody wanted to play with her, or
Mhm.
like she wanted to play in the house, but her father
Mhm.
told her she can go to the park now. She was excited that she would see
Mhm.
people to play with her, but nobody came because they
Yeah,
know
because
that
she's quick.
yes. Which then Izuku, because quirkless here are treated way worse than in canon.
Like if you were quirkless, it was a plague basically.
Mm-hmm. Which then Izuku basically just came to the park and saw her sitting alone and saw her just play
Mm-hmm.
or saw her playing basketball on her own. Which then Izuku
He's like,
basically
hey,
came.
can I join?
Hey, can I play? Which when she looked and saw Izuku, she's like, hey, all right, I challenge you, Lin Lao Jr. versus green-haired boy. All right, begin.
He's looking at the door.
No, she doesn't know the name. She's
Yeah,
like
which
green-haired forest boy. Which he's like, it's Izuku. Which she's like, okay, Izuku, now begin. Which she started playing
which
basketball. She's really
which
fast. Which Izuku was surprised. Izuku was actually happy that that her mood lightened up very fast. Which
like
is
which yeah, they started playing and they played to a draw.
yes.
Actually,
Which they kept on going and going. Izuku wasn't using one for all. He wasn't using it. He didn't want to use it. He's really fast normally, like without one for all too.
yeah, because
Like
the muscles.
yes, as
Yeah,
fast as you. Do you want him to be as fast as Usain Bolt without it?
yes, without one for all.
Yes. So that happened, and yeah. Which Izuku basically and her tied, and she
Mm-hmm.
is she's also as fast as Usain Bolt, cause she always trains and shit.
He always has the athletic energy in him.
Mhm. Which Izuku basically said, "Ah, good game." Which Lucy said, "Yeah, yeah, thank you for playing with me like that." Then he was gotta go. Which Izuku said, "Yeah, see ya." Which Izuku basically went and fucking so I went to parkour like between two buildings and went on top of it and started parkouring. Which
Mm-hmm.
she blushed a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but because he didn't ask if she was quirkless or not. He even knew that she was quirkless because he sensed it. Because he
Mm-hmm.
already unlocked danger sense.
Yeah, man has danger sense, aka a Spidey sense in My Hero Academia. Anyway.
Yes. Which yeah, he basically just he basically knew that she was quirkless. Which yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which he basically went back and basically before he left, he's like, I'm gonna compete in the UA tournament, UA Sports Festival. See ya. Which Izuku
Yeah.
basically started Spider-Manning.
Mm-hmm. Iron Man parkour. But he
Yes,
parkours on the wall.
yes. Which
She is
yeah,
shocked. She is shocked.
yes.
So yeah, down for the sports festival. Just the whole round family's watching this. The whole of them, all of them are watching this.
Mm-hmm. Which
Even Lincoln.
with like class 1A basically, like what do you call it? they were fighting over what to watch between like the comedy and shit like that. Which they're like, Lincoln said it's my turn basically like that, basically because hi. Which Lucy basically came by him and said, yeah, I thought it was my turn. Which he scared him. Which she scared him. Which he's like, oh right, sorry Lucy. Which he gave her the remote. Which she's like, we're watching the UA Sports Festival. Which they're like, huh? Why?
Everyone actually want to watch that actually.
Hmm? Like Lynn
Go
said, yeah,
on.
I want to watch that too. Which they're like, yeah, fine, we're gonna watch that. Which which let's just say Lynn and Lucy, they just sitting on the floor because they wanna see it perfectly. Which they're which Midnight comes out, she's like, welcome everybody to the UA Sports Festival. Why am I making her sound like that? Welcome everybody to the UA Sports Festival. Basically, I don't know how to fucking sound Midnight. Okay, I'm sorry. Which she's like, all right, first let's give a big hand to Class 1A. Which
And
Class
when
1A
class 1A
comes.
comes,
Yes,
Izuku came in there.
Izuku basically came last out of all of them. Basically, wearing the UA
Mhm.
Sports Festival shit.
Which the girls were supposed to, which Lynn
Lucy
and
and Lynn,
Lucy were smiling.
they're like, yeah, go Izuku, basically. Which the others are confused. They're like, huh? Why are you cheering for that kid? Which they're like, he's our first friend, basically, because they don't have friends at school or shit like that because they're quirkless.
They're all shocked, like, what?
Mm-hmm. They're like, yup, he doesn't care for quirkless like that. They all go focus back to the TV. Which the Midnight
They're
basically.
all rooting for Izuku now.
Mm-hmm. Lincoln's also rooting for Izuku, which Izuku basically, Midnight said, all right, all right, now for the class 1A representative, may you come out. Which Izuku, may you come
Izuku
out.
comes in because
Let's
he's
just say
number one.
Izuku. Let's just say Izuku basically was wearing the glasses right now.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should like, wait, what? He wears glasses?
He's which he's like, I didn't want to wear the contacts today. Which he's like, which he says a good speech. Because like I was like, he says like and he says good speech. Yes.
It's like he talks about the quirkless, like quirkless can be heroes too if they train enough.
Which he's like, thank you. Which he steps down and they all clap and shit like that. Which
Everyone claps.
mm-hmm.
Everyone, quirk and quirk people are clapping.
Yes. Which, yeah, Midnight basically says, okay, let's begin. Basically, for the roulette, which she brings the spinny thingy and spins it, which it comes up to the race first. Which she's like, all right, the race. All right, everybody get into your positions. Which class 1 come, class 1B, class 1C, the support course, and normal course. Which that happens.
So yeah, they go, and which Izuku dashes.
Which Midnight says 3, 2, 1, begin. Which Todoroki tries to freeze the
Izuku's
ice,
gone.
but Izuku just fucking Spooderman. Because let's just say there are flying robots too, like the robots at the beginning. Instead of just normally, there's flying robots with the 0 pointers, which Izuku was swinging on them and fucking flicking them with like 1%, or like 10%, or like actually 3%. He was flicking them with 3%, and he kept fucking Spoodermanning.
It's like 3%, which everyone, oh my shock's like, what? He's only using 3%.
Yes, so All Might can sense that, but nobody can sense it. Which Izuku kept going. Which
Which when
which
the canyon comes,
no 0 pointers, Jack, 0 pointers.
0 pointers.
Remember, 0
Jesus
pointers
Christ.
in the race. Which Todoroki does the same thing with the ice thing. Bakugo does the same thing. Everybody does the same thing. But then Izuku basically came and he just went and fucking, once the 0 pointer tried to hit him, he from behind, he used Spidey sense, just fucking used flow and jumped up really high, like way up high into the stratosphere. Which he's like, oh shit. Which he fucking woo no! Which he
Superman's
fucking.
down. He Superman's it down. Bye.
Which he fucking came and just. You know how Saitama landed? Yeah, he landed like that on top of the fucking 0 pointer.
Which everyone was like, "What
Which
is this man?"
Which Izuku basically just fucking put the glasses in his fucking pocket and just kept on dashing.
Actually, until he reaches the canyon, which just means Superman's it and
No,
flies.
no. I have a better idea. Which
But
so one student goes there, which Izuku basically, you know what he does?
but
He goes, the student goes over the canyon, which Izuku basically went and used Black Whip on him, and basically he brought him back, and it launched Izuku forward, and he sabotaged that man.
everyone was like, "What?" That?
No. They don't get shocked by that. No, Jack. No, that's not a
They,
shocking thing, Jack.
I was like, "Yes, they would." It's like it's a sabotage, absolute sabotage.
No, just Midnight says, and Izuku Midoriya he has crossed over the Grand Canyon. Which
Everyone's cheering.
hmm
So
Which
when it comes to the bombs, when it comes to the,
Izuku was using like about 10%, and Bakugo and Todoroki were next to him. They were neck and neck.
Jizuku's like, "All right, time to stop playing these games." Which
He's
he
like,
actually,
which
he actually,
you know what he does? You know what he does? He's like, Bakushin no Jutsu. No, no. You know what he does actually? He actually just fucking says, "Alright, time to amp it up." Which he fucking does Naruto run and fucking uses 15%. And he's like, meow.
yeah, which you all know the Naruto one, it boosts your speed.
Yes,
Never.
which Todoroki and Bakugo also launched themselves forward. They're still neck and neck. Which, because Todoroki is actually using his fire. Because Izuku gave him the speech earlier.
That won't make no sense. He will not even listen to that speech at all.
No, when they were kids.
Kids? Oh,
But we won't go into a flashback of that, but yeah.
we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go into that.
Yeah, and Bakugo is just using bigger explosions because Izuku actually wanted to train with Bakugo or like help train Bakugo's quirk, which Bakugo wasn't as big of a dick, but still a dick. But he was like a little bit more friendly with Izuku because he helped him train his quirk. So that's why they're neck and neck. Which Izuku basically, Izuku basically turns around, to his back, which he's like. He's like, see ya. Which he just fucking he fucking does the moonwalk. I'm just kidding. He doesn't do that. He just fucking goes back. I'm just kidding, Jack. He doesn't do that. He just fucking uses more one for all. Which when the landmines come, Izuku used the fucking black whip at the end of the gate, and he launched himself forward and brought the priest of the fucking gate back, and it fucking knocked. It didn't knock Todoroki in the eye. It just fucking set off a lot of fucking mines, and Todoroki and Bakugo were off balance, and Izuku made it first. Which Lucy and Lin, they're cheering. So was Link Lin.
The Loud House family is cheering.
No, not all of them. Not all of them. Let's just say that some of them weren't there. Some of them weren't there.
Who weren't there? Who?
Let's just say the princess one, the
Twins.
girl boy,
The twin one.
yeah, the twins, and Lori too. She wasn't there. Lori was what do you call it at college.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Bobby for now. Bobby for now.
for now. Which which they're like, alright, cavalry battle, which 1 million points, which they all start Izuku the same way, but Izuku, you know what he does? Let's just say
Man smiles. She does the evil smile.
let's just say he doesn't back away fear, just keeps a fucking bored face. Cause he felt more what do you call it? Fucking bloodlust from his mom when he broke something. So yeah. Alright, hold on, I gotta mute the mic.
Uh,
Yeah.
so for the cavalry battle, the teams are the same, but I'm going to replace Uraraka with Jiro.
Mhm.
Because why not?
Mhm.
Which, which it goes similar, but Izuku keeps his 110 million points.
Mhm. Well, Soroki tried to do the thing. He got the 1 million points, but Izuku used Black Whip and got it back. He snatched it back.
Mm-hmm.
Which then they have like a what do you call it, an hour break before the last one,
Mm-hmm.
before the final event. Which Izuku took a little nap, and in that little nap, he met one of the other users of the One for All. Okay, and this user had, Sasuke's ability of switching people, like switching places.
Switching places.
Yeah, he has that. He can switch places. Like his quirk is called swap. He can swap
Oh,
with
actually
other
swap.
people.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he just swaps places. Alright.
Mhm. It'll be fucking useful.
It's gonna be useful. It's gonna be useful for later.
Mhm. Which yeah, which Izuku
Also,
basically
for the fight against Shinso,
Shinso against
well,
Izuku.
I want to do
Which
this something real quick. I want to humiliate this man real quick.
this is why I got this swap quirk. Which Shinso basically said, all right, he's like, he talks shit about the class, which Izuku talks back, not knowing about it. Which then
Mm-hmm.
Which then Shinso basically just says, "Alright, move out of the ring." Which Izuku was moving out of the ring. Lucy and the people that were watching Lucy and Lin, they were hoping that he doesn't fucking get out, or like he stops out of it. Which Izuku basically before he gets out, he smirks and he swaps places with Shinso, and Shinso gets out of the ring. Which they're like, Izuku Midoriya wins. Which Shinso basically is like,
Shinso
what?
is pissed. Like what? What? What?
Which Izuku said, you never expected that, did ya?
Ah. I want this new quirk.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's shocked. Like what? New quirk? Power? What?
Yeah. Which basically Izuku says, alright. Izuku says, Shinso, can you meet me after, after this? Which Shinso goes in with Izuku, and Izuku tells him about like, not in front of the crowd. He just tells Shinso like once they get out, that his quirk isn't villainous and shit like that, because he heard the same speech that he said.
So he tells Shinso to go to Aizawa.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And he will
learned the
train
way of
him,
the spark.
and Izuku believes in you, or I believe in you. Which Shinso basically smiles and hugs Izuku. He's like, thank you. Which Izuku says, yeah, no problem.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, which is like so time for Izuku versus Todoroki.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Which
yeah,
what's to Izuku Todoroki get out there? Izuku basically says, rematch, old friend. He's like, yup.
mm-hmm.
Which Todoroki basically launches fire at Izuku. Izuku basically.
I would say Izuku launches lightning at him because he
Mm-hmm.
can shoot lightning out of him. One for all lightning out
Yup.
now. Jake was shocked, like, what? He has lightning now? What?
Which Izuku basically said that it's not it's not a lightning quirk. It's just the lightning for my enhancement. I can manipulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Like, what? And yeah, which Todoroki was very for his ultimate attack.
Mm-hmm.
For
Which Izuku basically.
actually no, I got a cool shit I'm about to do.
Alright, do it.
Which Todoroki Deku tricks Todoroki to launch fire into the air, which was the biggest mistake he could have ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say the weather changed and then there was a thunderstorm.
Which Izuku said, you're gonna have
Like,
time.
It's like, you fell for it. It's like, wait, what? But Izuku sends a thunderbolt, a tiny thunderbolt.
No. Instead of the thunderbolt, he flies up to the cloud,
Mm-hmm.
and he uses one for all. And he's running throughout the cloud at very fast speeds, which he makes the cloud into a fucking lightning tornado, which he fucking goes and hits Todoroki like a fucking drill, and fucking pushes him all the way to the. It's okay. It pushes him all the way to the fucking out of the ring. Which Midnight is like, Izuku Midoriya, the winner. which yeah, which then Izuku versus
Yeah,
Ida. Ida tries to go and kick Izuku, but Izuku just sidestepped him.
like Ultra Instinct sidestepped.
Hmm. Which yeah, which Izuku versus Bakugo. Which Bakugo tries launching explosions on Izuku. Izuku basically is dodging. You know how, you know how Sans is always dodges Chara or Frisk.
Mm-hmm.
Yup,
Mm-hmm.
that way. Which he does a howitzer impact. Which once he sends Izuku, it was about to hit Izuku, then Izuku swapped. And it hit
Mm-hmm.
Bakugo and it fucking almost knocked him out, but he stood up.
Wait, how does he get hit by his own explosion? That doesn't make sense though.
Swap.
Well, miss.
Yes, it would miss, but it hit his arm.
True. Bakugo would be only have one arm now.
No, no, no. His arm was broken, that's it.
Like his arm is broken. He's not knocked out yet. He's too stubborn.
Which, he uses his
Actually,
broken arm still. He's
gonna
I
use
don't
his,
have to hold
his
back.
good arm.
Like,
He uses his good arm to come. I want to do something,
okay,
Jeff.
okay.
I want to do something
Okay,
cool.
I'm sorry.
I want to do something because Bakugo compresses all the explosion to an orb,
Mm-hmm.
or in one hand. Shizuku charges up a lightning in his hand, a Shidori, which we all know what's about to happen right now.
Which he's like, yeah, Baku is like Izuku and Deku, and Izuku's like Katsuki, which they fucking clash with the both, and a huge explosion, the same type of explosion as Naruto versus Sasuke.
Mm-hmm. Everyone shouts like, "Who won? Who won?"
Which they see Bakugo or Izuku about to fall out, which Lucy and Luna were about to get sad, which Izuku basically it zooms on Izuku smirking, which Bakugo fell out.
Yep.
Which Izuku fell on the ground in the middle of the arena and Bakugo fell out.
Mm-hmm.
Which Izuku while laying down raises his hand up. And Mina's like, Izuku Midori, the winner of the sports festival! Which they all
Everyone
cheer.
was cheering. Everyone was like hype. That was
Mhm.
pure hype.
And Lucy, for the first time in actual fucking many years, smiled. Which, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Everyone noticed.
Mm-hmm. Lynn basically is like, wait, you can smile? Lincoln's like, when can you do that? I thought you didn't have emotions. She's like, you don't know anything about me. Which she's like, I'm gonna go to my room. Which she goes to her room. Fucking goes to her bed. And fucking says, yeah, Izuku-chan won.
What?
Shut up.
I'm not even gonna talk about that. I'm not even gonna talk about that.
Shut up. It's my own
Bitch.
shit. You did your own
She
shit,
has
I
that
do my
Raven-
own shit.
Actually, I won't say she's like Raven. Hides her emotions.
Mm-hmm. That's what she actually does, if you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Which, Izuku gets the medal.
Mm-hmm.
And basically,
Yeah.
he does like a Naruto smile with two fingers up. And, it's like the cover for the sports festival.
Mm-hmm. Which everyone... Actually, this man became famous now.
Mm-hmm. Which
Actually,
then, Izuku was going back home. Like,
yeah, so Izuku was going home.
It's supposed the UA got a week off or like a month off.
Mm-hmm. And so,
Then
Izuku was going home.
Mm-hmm. Once he was
Then
going home, basically he once he was going home, he saw the house was on fire. He's like, "Mom, mom!" Which he fucking went and tried running into the fire. Which the others were trying to stop him. Which then Izuku basically got his mom out of the fire and got the one other thing that his mom gifted him, the guitar, because it was actually really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Which then
Yeah.
Which then
But yeah, they go to the hospital. She's on life support.
Mm-hmm. Which then, let's just say or the Urakas visited Inko back then. Like, once
What?
Izuku was 10. She was a slut when she
Uh,
was when she began being a slut when she was 9.
mm,
So yeah, once they went flashback. Once the Urakas went there, Inko saw that how Uraka was infested with shit, but her parents didn't know.
mhm.
So yeah, which Inko's dying words. She's like, become the number one hero, and you're always gonna be my hero, Zuko. And please, as a request, never date Uraka. Which she
But is it like,
beep. Which Izuku basically vows to never date her. That shit.
yeah,
Which then
yeah,
Izuku
with
basically goes
Izuku's
and lives
like
on the
out
streets. Yes, because he doesn't have money. All the money was burned down. Everything was torn apart. Izuku only
Yue
had
actually gives him a place to stay. Truly.
yes. Izuku like Yue didn't know about this. Jack,
Or did they know about the how? It'll be all over the news that a house burned down.
just joking. Yue gave him like a
Right.
small house because they were running low on budget and because they had to wait another month because or they used almost all the budget on the dorms. They were building the dorms, but it's not gonna be
They're
ready
building,
until UAE opens again.
which Izuku just like, it's like All Might helped him out with like actually helping him being well.
Yes.
He's staying with All Might for a while.
Mm-hmm.
A
And All
while.
Might give him his reward for being winner of the sports festival, which is a temporary hero license for about a month, or like the month holiday. Which Izuku
Which
basically, he's like, I'm gonna
Izuku
go
actually
save people. And
will
Izuku.
save here people now.
Mm-hmm.
Which he does.
Mm-hmm.
And this
And
man
he
actually
was
is
saving
doing great.
people. And he said there once like there was this family of rich family of two, and they had one child that had black hair. And there was this criminal that was about to shoot those two parents, but then Izuku basically came and killed them, and or killed him, and basically he's like, "Are you guys
Kill.
okay?" Which they're
Heroes
like,
don't
"Yeah."
kill. Heroes don't kill. Heroes don't kill. Heroes don't kill. But don't
He
forget that.
he fucking restrained them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you guys okay?" They're like, "Yeah, thank you." Which Izuku's like, "Yeah, no problem." Which
Did you?
he saved Batman. He saved
Uh,
Batman. I actually legitimately made it like fucking Batman.
uh,
Which
uh,
yeah, which Izuku basically was saving people for like around 2 weeks, and they gave him his hero name earlier, which is Ryu. The the multi-hero quirk, the multi-quirk hero is Ryu,
mhm.
which
Gee.
then, which then
Actually, if we give him Ryu, should we give him like? Do we make the last one for all power a dark power technically? No one uses
or how about
because
fucking,
there's
or how about just fucking Dragon Slayer magic, or like Dragon Slayer, like
Dragon Slayer,
Shadow Dragon Slayer.
like Dragon Slayer, because it resembles a Shadow Dragon. We're not giving him actual like he's only an actual Shadow Dragon. No.
No, which yeah, which he was going on patrol one day in the night, or do you want him in the night or in the morning?
In the morning,
In the
early
morning.
morning.
Which then he saw like a huge villain, like a villain with a gigantification quirk,
Mm-hmm.
and a really strong like a really strong fire quirk working together.
Mm-hmm.
Which then
He,
Izuku,
he, he saw two couple. He saw two couple.
yeah, a couple
One blonde hair, one with brown hair.
yeah, blonde hair and brown hair. Which then Izuku
Mm-hmm.
basically said, I gotta save them. Which he fucking they were about to go ahead and kill those two. Which then they were ready for impact, but they didn't see it. Which then they open their eyes and they see somebody standing in front of them with green hair.
Okay. Kid.
Yeah, a kid, or like yes, a kid technically, with green hair and a green suit and a mask.
Which they realize he's from the sports festival. Let's say they actually watched.
Hmm.
Their parents.
hmm Which then they couldn't say anything because of the shock. Which then Izuku basically
Hmm.
said, "You two get out of here. I'll take care of them." Which they nod and they leave, or like they go in the car and they run. They go far away, but they have binoculars so that they can see the fight.
Which Izuku's beating this man. This
Yeah.
man's
Yes,
Superman
he
looking.
he beat the fire guy, but then the guy gigantification guy, okay, got so mad that he saw that his
Quirk
gigantification,
went hay- this Quirk
yes,
went haywire.
yes, it went berserk. So Izuku had to use 40, had to use his limit 45% of one for all, which then
Hmm.
Izuku basically,
Just like Lee.
hmm yeah, he basically was like Lee with Gara. Basically, he was beating him
Hmm.
around. But then,
Hmm.
Izuku went and punched him down, knocking him out. But because Izuku used above his limit is 45, Izuku used about 60.
Which
So
he's
his
like
body,
he can still move.
yeah, I
He
can
can still
still,
move, but barely.
yes. Which Izuku basically called, like, yeah, his hand was shaking a lot. He got his phone and called the police, which then they came.
Mm.
And no, no, no. Let's just say that he couldn't reach it out. He couldn't go to his phone, which then he fell on the floor, seemingly unconscious. Which then the two parents came and fucking took him, and they're like, "We gotta take him back," basically. But first, it's called high, which they call the what do you call it? The police,
Police and
and
they
they
call police
take.
and they take Izuku to the hospital. Technically,
Mm-hmm. Which then they take him to the hospital.
which he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah,
Nothing's broken.
yes, like he has
Nothing's
like
broken. He's just tired.
fractured bones. That's it.
He has like he just broke his arm. No, he puts too much strain in his arm a little bit. He'll be fine.
Yes, and he fractured a few ribs because that guy punched Izuku once he was
Yeah.
going like 30%.
So yeah. So he's fine.
Mm-hmm. And they're like he can leave tomorrow morning, which
Which
then
he
they take.
does.
Yes, which he at that night, yeah, at that day he was still unconscious because he was too tired because he used over 60%, 65. And he spoke
Hmm.
with the one for all users, but he didn't gain any quirks. He just fucking spoke with them because yeah. Which then
Also, they told us like they told him like you should take it slow with your training. Go by percentage each day.
mm-hmm. Which then he's like, okay, sure. Which then
Mm.
the next morning he wakes up, he's like, where am I? Which then he sees the two parents. He's like, wait, you're the two that he saved. Which then they're like, yeah, thank you basically for saving us. Which then Izuku
So
says, hey, no problem. And it was, are we in a hospital? Which then
he's like,
they're
yep.
like, yep, you saved us. It was the least that we can do. Which then Izuku says, hey, yeah, thanks.
Um,
Which then
he actually gets up perfectly fine.
mm-hmm, is which then the parents is like, where's your parents? Basically, so that we can call them. Which Izuku
Like
basically says,
my
hey, my
my,
father,
my,
my
my,
father divorced my mom. I don't know where he is. My
and my mom
my
died.
mom died last week.
Yeah. Which oof, they
Oof.
hear that it's like
Mm-hmm. They're like, which they basically say, could you give us a minute? Which they're talking, and yeah, they decide to adopt him
yep.
because they
Which
know
yeah.
that because like let's just say Lucy didn't say, but Lin said that there's this green-haired boy, his name is Zuko, actually played with her and actually played against her basketball, and yeah, and he doesn't mind quirkless, or like he doesn't care if somebody's quirkless or not. Which they thought that
The
he
whole
could
family's
be.
worthless and ridiculed for it.
hmm they call him the quirkless house instead of the loud house.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Which
then,
Izuku, which Izuku goes, he's not going to take the name of Wild or anything. He's just still will be Izuku Midoriya.
hmm but like after marriage, he's gonna have that.
Yes.
which then or just gonna have the name just Izuku Loud, but he likes using Izuku Loud because
Mhm.
he thinks that he doesn't fit in that much. But no, he's gonna use it. He's gonna use Loud. But
Really?
yeah, which
He's
then
gonna use it.
they're like,
Oh,
how about if we adopt you? Which Izuku looks at them wider. He's like, wait, you want to do that? Which they know they're like, yeah, we have daughters and a son that can be friends with you. Which Izuku basically it does the same. Izuku smile is like, thank you. Which they cover their eyes a little bit because it was too bright. They're like, yeah, no problem.
mhm.
Anyways, we're gonna adopt you. Come, let's go sign some papers so that we can adopt you. Which they sign some papers and they're like, okay, here's the address so that you can come and to the house. Which Izuku says thank you. Which Izuku runs back, basically, and
And when he still goes back and say people, and then goes to the house.
hmm which then once he goes to the house, he grabs his minimum stuff. The minimum clothes he has, his iPhone, his
Hmm.
headphones, and his guitar, which he packed up in the guitar case.
Hmm. He goes to the house,
hmm
which he realizes, hey, they have a lot of kids.
Yeah, he
You
sees
know,
the house is humongous. He's like, damn, whoa, what kind of house is this? Which is like, which he shakes his head. He's like, never mind. And by the way, if you're wondering what Izuku wears, he's wearing this with the glasses and the headphones. Which he took off the
which he goes
headphones.
in,
Which he's like, ring ring, like the house rings the doorbell. Which
and the two
the
parents come
mother
in. It's like,
came.
oh yeah, oh
The
Zuka's
mother,
Zuka's here.
only the mother. The father is at work.
And the
Which
mother's
she's
like, oh
like,
Zuka, you're here.
oh, you're here, basically. Come, so they can meet the rest. Which
Yeah,
which she says, go sit down on the chair. Which he goes sits down on the couch.
the guys, you.
Your new brothers, or like your new adopted brothers here, because they already
Mm-hmm.
told them that they're
Everyone goes to
adopting
see,
somebody.
and was like, they're
Which
like,
they fucking slide down. Like there's which they're all they're coming down one by one, or not one by one. Like they're coming down. Which he
and
looks at
when
them.
Lin and Lucy
He's like,
see
hey.
Zuko,
Which
they're shocked.
He's like,
They're shocked.
oh Lucy, Lynn, how are you guys? Basically, which he fucking smiles. Which they're like, wait, Izuku? Which Lucy says, nice seeing you again. Which Izuku says, nice seeing you again. Which Lucy nods. So and Lynn says, can we play basketball or football or anything later? Which he's like,
Like, sure.
you bet, sure. Which
Which Lincoln's like, wait, you're the guy with the sports festival.
Izuku basically says, yeah, that's me. Basically
Yeah.
nervous. Which
Shaman's like, wait, what?
which yeah, which he's like, which which the mother's like, all right, everybody, listen, introduce yourselves. Which this is gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? We're only gonna say the names of that. Hi, just gonna say that they introduce themselves. Which
Mm-hmm.
Lucy,
Lori, Lynn,
Lori, Lynn,
Lucy.
Lynn, Lori, Lynn, Lucy, the other Lucy, Lincoln, the twins, and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But
And also Luna.
the baby says
So Luna.
fuck.
Forget
But
about.
the baby says fuck because remember that's her first words.
Mm-hmm.
Which Izuku basically looks wide-eyed. He looks at the mom. He's like, why? He basically he's like, did the baby just swear? Which Lincoln says it's a long story. Which Izuku says okay. Which she's like fuck. Which Izuku basically just says, can somebody put her to sleep something? Because yeah, she's
Let's say one time she says he's so cute. It's like, well, what?
what? Which the others
It's
like
the same.
what? Which
That.
she crawls and basically Izuku picks her up and she shits while Izuku's holding her. He's like, oh god, which
Yeah.
Which the mother takes her and she's like, no, no, don't do that again. Which she's like, I'm very sorry. He's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's okay. Which which yeah, that happens and
Yeah.
yeah, which
And they
Lincoln
all ask
says
like, what's your quirk?
he's like, oh, I have multiple, but they're all connected to one.
What?
Which yeah, which Izuku basically says, which Lincoln says, you can tell me, come follow me, tell me when we're in my room. Which he follows. Lincoln rushes up to his
Also,
room.
Lincoln and Nezuko are going to share a room.
Yes, because they're the boys of the house. Which they go,
Yep.
which Izuku and Lincoln go up, and they sit down, and
Mm-hmm.
they see bunk beds. Which
Mm-hmm.
Izuku basically says, I call dibs on down. Which Lincoln takes the up.
Yep.
Which they sit on chairs opposite each other. Basically, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
so what's your quirk like that? Can you tell me? Which he's like, sure. Basically, my quirk is an enhancement, basically with lightning around it, and I can manipulate the lightning, and because of this lightning manipulation I have over my high, I can use it to manipulate other lightning, basically, but only the ones that are near my body or near me. I can't use the ones that are far away.
Also the first user explains. Also, the first user goes into Nezuko goes to Mind's Gate, and the first user explains that you can share one for all
Which, but
freely.
Izuku wants to keep it a secret for now. He doesn't want to share it right now. Like it's literally for his first day. He can't share it right now.
Yeah, not yet. That's just like I'm just saying he can share if he wants to.
Which yeah, which
That's
which
when we come to play later.
mm-hmm. Which Lincoln and Izuku basically they talk and they become actually really close in this short amount of time. Which
Mm-hmm.
Izuku which Lincoln says, oh look at the time basically. Which he's like, all right, we have to go for dinner. Which he
They
is
go to sleep.
no dinner, Jack, dinner.
Dinner? Oh, which they go to dinner?
Mm-hmm. Which some sit at the baby table, some sit at the normal table. Izuku basically sits at the normal table, which he eats with them. They talk about some stuff, which
Mm-hmm. Again, everyone asks for Yuzuki's quirk again.
Izuku basically says he says the same thing, which they're amazed like that, but yeah, but the what do you call it? They just let's just say that the scientist girl or the scientist sister or like the Lucy. I'm pretty sure her name was also Lucy.
Oh wait,
Yeah, it's just with
I'm
an
gonna
I.
check.
It's just with an I instead of a Y.
It's Lisa.
Lisa, yeah. Which Lisa basically says that if that's true, then why do you have black lightning? Basically, which is like, oh, that's my second quirk. It's black light. It's black whip. Basically, I can use it
Mm-hmm.
to swap, to hop around like the comic book Spider Man.
Everyone's like, what? Wait, what?
Mhm.
He
But
can
yeah,
also stick to walls. So like,
he's like,
oh
no.
yeah,
No, no, no. He says if I channel through my fingers, then yeah, but not that much. Like it only sticks for a
yeah,
few
for too long.
seconds,
Not for too long.
not for too long. It's only for it's only like while I'm climbing the wall simultaneously, like really fast. That's it. I can't stick on there for a long time.
Mm. Everyone's like, wow.
Mhm. Which yeah,
It's
which
like, oh, so how's your life going? It's like everyone's like looking down. It's like because they were quirkless and all that. And
which
people bully him
mhm.
all the time.
Either like we're all quirkless like that, so we don't have. So it was bad for us. Which Zook says, "Oh, I get the
Mm.
feeling." Which they're like, "Huh? But you have quirks. So what do you mean?"
Hey, Bloomer.
He's like,
Actually, this one
I
Lucy
didn't
finds
manifest it until 10 months before the entrance exam."
I was like, what?
He's like, "Yeah." Which he scratches back of his, rubs back of his head sheepishly, like fucking Goku.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, which they are
Wait,
done with dinner, and
should Lori? It's okay. This is when Lori gets a text from Bobby saying we're through.
No, 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 not now, not now, not now. Later, Jack. Later. Later.
Why later?
Later.
Why?
Jack. Jack, it's really bad. In the middle of dinner, yes, I broke up with you. And then the ship starts. No. No, Jack. We're
Oh
not
no,
doing
no, no.
that
Actually, no.
yet.
I got a better one. Actually, it's like we don't need to talk later. There you go.
Hmm.
There.
She's like,
That's better.
which, yeah, but not right now. So,
Yeah.
Izuku, which, the time goes by and they have to go to sleep. Which,
It's
they,
a good go to sleep.
hmm he goes to sleep, takes off the glasses and goes to sleep. Which,
Mm-hmm.
he wakes up and sees the loud house fucking just fucking being all fucking the same shit, throwing stuff around and
Sporadic.
like
It's mayhem.
yes, it's mayhem. Which Izuku basically says, what, in his mind, what the absolute fuck. Which they're all just fucking just doing stuff, they're minding their own business. Which they all go to the bathroom at the same time. Which Izuku basically just goes and just fucking just splashes water on his face and brushes his teeth like really fast.
At least.
And then yeah,
He goes,
you
see
know
you later.
no, 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 it's still Jack, still break.
So break. So he's still gonna be like, he's going to go do hero work.
But not right now. Like after breakfast and hang out a little bit with the Loud House family members later. So,
Mm-hmm.
Izuku basically was just finished that, and he basically was looking for what do you call it, Lucy's room, so they can
Mm-hmm.
basically say if she wants to go hang out a little bit, or like fucking just go ahead and what do you call it, go
They
for
go.
a cafe or some shit before he goes to her work.
He goes to the room
Or
and he sees all the gothic things and all that.
which
Izuku's like,
he's
neat.
like he's like she went through the same phase I did, but she's still in
Hey.
that phase. Uh, because Izuku, once he was in grade sixth grade, he went through a goth phase,
Mm.
so he can understand, and he still likes goth things, but he does, but he's still but the cheerfulness took over. So yeah, to which Izuku basically, which Lucy basically came behind him and said, "What are you doing in my room?" Which he fucking just jumps back a little and says, "Oh, Lucy, sorry, I didn't notice you. Basically, I was wondering if you want to go to a cafe before I go to do hero work." Which she's like, "I'd like that." Which he's like, "Okay, I see you in 25, or like in 12 minutes." Which yeah, she basically is just doing the same thing. And by the way, if you wanna know how Lucy looks like, she looks like this.
Yep.
Which she she's basically keeping the straight face normally if she smile a little bit. Which in her mind
Mm-hmm.
she's basically like fucking going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, do you want to make this parts or one shot?
One shot.
Okay, which Lucy basically comes out wearing this, and Izuku wears the same thing. Which
Mm-hmm.
her and Lucy, her and Izuku, they just fucking go to the cafe. Which people are giving, the girls are giving Izuku looks, while the guys are fucking, while they're all disgusted with Lucy, but Izuku basically gives them the glare and they all look away.
Mm-hmm. Because
Which
they know he's the winner of the sports festival.
hmm which then Izuku
And
basically
what
and
which hero rank should Izuku be already?
huh?
What rank should Izuku be in hero?
Right now he's number 10.
Hey, he's number 10.
Hey, he has only worked for a week. One
I
number
know.
one. Yes,
I was
no,
gonna say, hey, that's
yes,
next. That's good. I say that's good. It's quick.
yes, yes. What do you expect him to be number 3, number 4 in fucking 1 week?
No, 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 I didn't expect that. I said that's good. I expect him to be like number 15.
Okay, number 12.
Which everyone's like, he's the new upcoming hero.
Mm-hmm. Which Izuku
Why is he
basically,
being worthless?
but Izuku is just fucking is ignoring them. Which Lucy
Mm-hmm.
basically she's saying like saying hey, you should hang out with me. Basically, people will give you weird looks.
It's like, hey, ignore him,
He's
ignore
like
him.
ignore him
They're
basically.
losers. They're losers. They're jealous.
Mm-hmm. Well, like which he basically says, hey, if a girl tell you that you look disgusting, they're just jealous of your looks basically. Which she blushes. She says, "Think, do I actually look good?" Which Izuku basically knows is like, yeah. Which and don't let anybody get to your head basically. Which yeah.
She
Which
blushes.
mhm
A noticeable blush. It's noticeable.
mhm. But her hair is hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah. Which they go to the cafe and they do the
Hang
stuff.
out.
Mhm. And they go on their date. Or the
Quote unquote. Hate days.
mhm. Which she fucking went on like goth clothings, which she tested the goth clothing on Izuku, which Izuku, which it somehow looked perfect on him.
And
Did you go through an emo phase or goth phase? Which he knows he's like, yeah, which
she smiles.
because he knows what it feels like, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah, which that happens and they come back. Lin basically dashes towards Izuku to try and fucking kick. She has the football and she has the helmet on. She tries to go ahead and fucking
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing as Izuku, like dash at him and fucking push him to the ground or like high, and fucking beat him with the ball. With
Zuko
the
actually
ball.
reverse it. Reversal.
Yes,
Reversal.
which she charges at him, but Izuku basically swap and fucking takes the ball and fucking knocks her on one knee and fucking grabs the ball, and says, he says hut hut, which he fucking runs out of the home, and Lucy and Lynn says, hey, get back here, which she's chasing him basically, and Lucy go,
Actually, Rican shock's like, what?
which yeah,
No
which
one's able to do that.
they continue on going, which Lucy goes back to her room, and she goes to the shrine.
Shrine.
I'm just kidding. She goes back. She goes to read a love write a love poem.
Mm-hmm. About her and Izuku.
Mm-hmm. And she is also daydreaming. What the fuck is wrong with us, Jack? We turned an emo girl
Hey.
into an emo fucking bit obsessive girl.
He
Hey, this shit is good.
just is good. Anyway, let's
which,
continue.
yeah, which
This is when she,
Lin and Izuku are playing fucking football, which he fucking Izuku basically just fucking goes and grabs some metal
destroys. She
bars.
should destroy. She actually destroy her in this because he actually trained more.
Listen. Izuku basically just got some metal bars and fucking made the for the American football.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, which he doesn't know rules that many rules of American football or know how to play it that much. But yeah, but he has watched
He's
the
adapt.
sports.
He's adapt to it quickly.
Hmm.
Also adapts quickly.
Like she was winning the first couple of rounds until Izuku basically started winning.
And it's a comeback. Izuku made the most epic comeback ever.
Which at the finale, Izuku basically went to fucking like kick the ball, but then somebody wanted to throw something. One guy wanted to go ahead and fucking hit Lin, basically from behind because she didn't notice. Which then Izuku made a swap and kicked him in the nuts. Which the guy basically fell on his knees and started crying while holding his balls. Which Izuku said, don't hurt her." Which he's like, "But she is quirkless," while sobbing. Which
But
Izuku
my
said,
man Zuko, no, Zuko just did this like my man just Zuko just punched him. It's like leave.
he's like, "Leave or leave or." His eye goes red because of the bullying. Let's just say his actual quirk manifested, which is intimidation. His quirk is just intimidation, like really,
Intimidation.
like really good into it, like really, really high. It even could make All For One shit his pants if he goes like if he
Let's say it's
actually
bloodlust.
goes serious.
No, actually, no. Let's say it's bloodlust.
Yes, it's like 15, 10 times or 20 times stronger than Stains,
Mm-hmm.
and one of his
Wait,
eyes turned red.
and he passes out. My man passes out.
Which Izuku basically says, "Ch." I hate these type of people that hypocrite that say the quirks and everything.
Damn.
Which yeah, which Lin is happy that Izuku stood up for her again.
Mm-hmm. But she blushes again.
Hmm.
Yay.
And she's like, "We have to go home." Which
Mm-hmm.
Izuku basically says, "Huh? Why?" Which she sees the mother call the police. Which Izuku basically says, "Oh crap." Which the
Dips.
mhm, dips.
Which yeah,
The
which
mother
yeah.
didn't
So
see Izuku. The mother didn't see Izuku. She only saw Len.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So
So
anyway,
yeah,
so
that
he's
happened. If you
yeah.
want, you can continue.
So Zuko who was at home. Then he sees Lenny.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Which
some introduces Lenny.
he sees Lenny basically putting a sock, two socks on her hands, and she's basically as she's walking around the house. Izuku's like, "What are you doing?" Which she's like with the hand while opening her mouth, like she's speaking normally with the puppets. Lenny isn't talking right now. It's Mr. Sock. Which Izuku basically just fucking sighs and fucking
He
decides to play
laughs.
with it.
He actually laughs. It's like yeah, that's cool.
He's like, "That's cool," basically, and decides to play
Should
along,
that
basically.
actually I gotta say this. Should we make Lenny's like stupid act as like a mask? She made it as a mask so to hide her sadness.
Of what?
Being quirkless, people bullying her. Quirkless.
Really? You wanna do that?
Yeah,
You wanna remove
yeah.
her super personality?
No. I don't want to remove it. It's she acts like that to hide all her sadness.
But from how much high she actually became somewhat yeah, that's became
Mm-hmm.
somewhat her personality.
Mm-hmm. It became her personality,
Which
Yeah.
Zuko uses danger sense, and senses like she's in deep sadness.
Mm-hmm. It's like Lenny, what's wrong?
She's like, "Oh, it's nothing." He's like, "Huh? What?
I
What
can
is wrong?
sense.
Is
I
it
can
a
sense
fruit?
you.
Is it a fruit something?"
And then Zuko's like, Lenny, I can sense your sadness.
Which Lenny basically breaks down crying, hugging Izuku. She's like, she basically tells him what happened. You know, she uh,
Mm-hmm.
she had like a boyfriend and he cheated on her, basically
Mm-hmm.
with the other girls and like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which Izuku basically hugged her back. He's like, "Shh, it's okay, it's okay." Which yeah.
Yeah. He comforted her.
Mhm.
It's like her boyfriend called her stupid and dumb and annoying.
Mhm.
That's what he said.
So yeah.
Zuko's pissed. He wants to find this man.
Mhm. He's like, "What is his name?" She's like, "His name is Minara."
Wait, what's the name?
Minara Minoru.
Which
Which Izuku
my
basically
man, Zuko's bloodlust goes everywhere. His man snapping.
he's
One for all turns lightning turns red.
he's like, "Give me a second." What was his name again?
It's like
Minoru Mineta, which he's like, I'll be right back. Which he fucking let's just say he swaps with the boulder from he swaps with the cat from outside. It was their cat, but the cat ran away, tried running away. But then he swapped back. He swapped with it, and basically he did some good while being angry.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah, my man goes finds where Mineta is with Denki.
no, no, no. He finds Mineta at home with his laptop jerking off while waiting for his jerking off while waiting for his girlfriend, seemingly his girlfriend, which has. Do you want to know what she has? Let's see your features. She has brown hair, puffy cheeks, brown
No, when
eyes,
Jeff
fingers with
stop
fingers.
is a rocker. So
Good that you noticed.
rocker separately.
Which then, the Waffle users are allowing Izuku to kill this man.
Wait, what? Which everyone's like, which Izuku's like, are you sure about this?
Which, they're like, yeah, we know the feeling. We gotta kill this man. Because they actually wanted to kill the man that cheated, that their girlfriends cheated on them, or like boyfriend or husband or shit like that, or husband or wife cheated on them with, but they couldn't find them, so they wanted revenge, and the revenge is through Mineta, or through Izuku to Mineta.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
they're like,
we've-
get this kid. Which
Yeah.
Izuku's like, okay. Which well,
Man,
Uraka basically is jerking off Mineta while they were doing it. Izuku basically was in the shadows with the red eyes staring at them, but nobody noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Once Mineta was coming, okay, Uraka tasted it, and she swallowed it, and Izuku basically said, "That's why her breath smells like fucking garlic mixed with avocados." Which then
Which my man Izuku like destroys this man.
like he goes in there and fucking basically he steps out of the shadow, uses black whip to fucking restrain them, and Midori's like, Midoriya, what are you doing? Which he's like, shut up, you fucking ungrateful little fucking perverted ass motherfucking having ass boy. I'm gonna fucking do something that will hurt you more than anything. Which he fucking brings three bullies, okay? And he says, you can have fun with her. Which they are having sex with Uraka while Mineta's watching tied up. Which then Izuku basically says, how about you worst fear? Which then Izuku basically, you know what he brings? He brings fucking 20 dildos and shoves them up his fucking throat. And makes him watch as Uraka is looking at the three bullies with fear. And them raping her.
And weird thing is she's enjoying it. Don't worry, they have condoms on. Don't worry about it.
No, more torturous. She's gonna get pregnant from that, and Izuku's gonna kill a child and kill Uraka.
No, wait. Why would remember, he has STDs, auto diseases. No.
Yes, I know. Kill the child. The three bullies, Izuku's gonna kill them anyways because they're gonna be witnesses. Which Izuku basically let them have their way with her, which then he fucking went and killed Mineta, killed Uraka, and killed the three bullies. You know what? No, he kept Uraka in a basement. Which then let's just say 3 days pass, and she's pregnant, basically, or like no, not 3 days. Let's just say 3 hours pass, and they do the fucking high. Let's just say from Uraraka's second quirk is that she can give birth easy, very fast. Which
Mm.
in through the span of 2 hours, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy with a mom with many STDs and fucking shit. Which Izuku basically grabbed the baby. He's like he's like, I'm gonna kill this one. Which he killed it and killed Uraraka. Which, yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Anyways, let's continue. Which, yeah.
We do not enjoy killing babies. That's horrible.
Yes.
Horrible.
Anime E sure as hell does.
We don't. That's horrible.
Yes.
Even if
So,
it's Uraraka, even if it's Uraraka, babies are killing babies is horrible.
yes. Which then, Izuku basically
Just
just
back
came back
home.
home, went back home, which then he went to Lin, and
Hey.
she's basically like, where were you, Izuku? He's like taking care of some stuff, which he smells innocently. But yeah, the Wonderful users are proud of Izuku, basically. But yeah, they're not. He's not gonna do anything like that ever again.
Never. Oh, this is like the one exception.
hmm which he goes back up to his room and lays down on his bed, tired, cause he stayed up, because it's fucking
And I have to say news. It's like, oh yeah, this guy named Mineta is dead.
Minoru Mineta and Uraraka have been found dead. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
have been found dead because the reason for their death was because of a fire that started.
Mm-hmm. Because he burned the house.
Yes, to burn all the evidence. Ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah.
He smiles actually from this.
hmm
And all
Which,
her sadness is gone.
hmm so yeah. But she still acts the same way. Because she enjoys doing it like that. Or like she can't stop it at this point.
Became her personality now.
Yes.
Shizuka likes.
hmm Which, yeah. And now it's time for Lori.
Uh, yeah, yeah, she's been dating Bobby for a long time now.
Yes, since high
Which
school.
that's cool, but they never did that ever.
hmm
And Lori always saw into Bobby's house one time and saw.
Like, she tried calling Bobby, he wasn't answering. Because they were
Mhm,
supposed to go on a date. Which she went to his
mhm,
house, and knocked on the door, only to see the door open. By nothing, it just opened by itself. Which
mhm,
then she went upstairs and saw Bobby and another girl doing it.
mhm. Like she's like, but Bobby, why? It's like
He's
very
like,
quickly.
"You're quirkless. Nobody likes quirkless." What do you actually think I would date you out of all people?
Which she's devastated.
Let's just say quirkless here. The reason why people are treating quirkless like this is because quirkless are 1% in this.
It works is 1% in this, and it's like the plague.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, it's like the plague.
Yes, sir. Which, yeah.
So yeah, Lori comes down home that day. Jeez, yo, the light in her eyes is gone.
No, 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 no. She went to her room crying a lot. She locked herself in the room, crying a lot.
Mm. No one dares to go in there. It's
hmm
like Izuku.
Because they know if they went and approached near that door, she would scream at them and she would fucking beat them.
Mm-hmm. Izuku goes in.
Mm-hmm. And
She
once,
she, she was about to scream, then she sees it's Izuku.
mm-hmm. She's like, "What do you want?"
Like
Which
she's.
he's like, "What's wrong? You haven't came out in your room in a couple of days."
Mm-hmm.
She's
Yeah,
like, "It's nothing." Which he's like, "Come on, tell me." Which
she,
then,
she didn't know how to tell her problems.
hmm
Problems.
But then, Izuku basically said, "Come on, you can tell me. I won't tell anybody. Believe me." Which
Mm-hmm.
he fucking looked at her.
Yeah.
Which she looked at him and she said, "My boyfriend cheated on me. Yeah, yesterday, basically because I was quirkless."
Izuku knew who this was. It was Bobby, obviously.
Which
Before we talked about her.
hmm She's like, "Why would he do that?" Because she hasn't said he was because of she was quirkless. She got a little nervous. She's like, because I'm quirkless. Because she hasn't said
Which,
anything about her being quirkless.
which, which, yeah,
But
Izuku snapped.
Izuku basically was having a little happy smile, basically, or like a little happy smile before she said she was cheating on. Once she said she was cheating on, he had a little serious. But one high, he was dead serious. He had he had a Todoroki glare.
Yeah, the, yeah,
He's
that
like,
total.
which Izuku said he sighed because he knew that he couldn't do it again. Which he's like, he couldn't be
Mhm.
killed again. Which he's like, come on, move on. Bobby wasn't right for you. Which she looks at him. He's like,
He's like,
cheer up, basically. There's so much in life,
let's go,
basically. Just because you're quirkless doesn't mean anything, basically.
go.
hmm Which, yeah. Which, she smiles and hugs you. She's like, thanks, little bro. Which, he basically says, no problem. Which he's like,
Bro,
anyways. Which, he's like, anyways, see ya. He's like, anyways, mom's
actually,
gonna kill me. He's like, mom's gonna kill me because she doesn't know I'm still here. Anyway, see you. Which, he rushes downstairs.
yeah, she smiles.
hmm
Now let's cut.
Which,
Let's cut to Bobby. Let's cut to Bobby. Then,
once Bobby fucked her, they were in a relationship for like a few hours, which then, he wanted to go to her basically so that they can have round two, which then he started cheating on
which,
her. Cheating on him.
yeah, now he's devastated too.
Yes, he wanted Lori back.
Which Lori's not nice. He tried to text Lori, but he realizes, oh,
She blocked him. Izuku, you know what Izuku did? He went
what?
to the phone store, got his phone, got a new phone, basically same model as Lori's, same everything. Got Lori's phone, yeeted it out of the window, and and under the fucking lawnmower, and gave her a new phone. He's like, so that Bobby won't text you at all. Which she basically loved him. She's like, thank you. Which she gave him a kiss on the cheek. Which Izuku blushed from that.
Mhm.
Which she went and created a new iPhone address, new everything.
So yeah,
Mhm.
which now Bobby has to go to the Loud House,
Mhm.
which he goes there.
Which once he goes there, he knocks on the door. Which Izuku basically says coming. Which he goes and opens the door, sees Bobby. Which he grows dead
Oh,
serious. He's like, "What are you doing here?" He's
face to
like,
face.
"I'm here to see Lori." Which
Which
he's like,
after what
"Lori,
you did, after what you did,
after what you did, I don't think that you should see her again."
yeah. Which it,
Which
which
Bobby
Bobby's like,
begs
what?
him.
What do
Bobby begs
you
him.
don't you don't understand? You don't say what the connection we had. It's like,
He's
and
like,
I understand what you did, bro.
oh really, oh really? Fine, go see her. Let's see what happens. Which he lets him in. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Izuku looks at him angrily.
Like, Bobby's like, Lori, and then Lori comes in. She has that most pissed expression you can ever see.
She's like, what do you
You see
want?
death. You see death in those eyes.
She's like, what do you want, Bob? Which he was shocked that she didn't call him by her nickname, by the nickname she gave him, Bobby.
Which, she's like, I wanted to get back together.
Which she's
Which,
like, which she basically says back together. Oh ho ho ho, you're in a world of pain. Which you know she pulled out the M9, M16 and brrr. I'm just joking.
Yeah, this man smacked. No, she slapped this man
Mm-hmm.
across the face, and him flying. Like she had super strength. Like
Mm-hmm.
Izuku's like, damn.
He's like, damn. Never knew a woman with this strong when they're angry. Which you know, he gets a shiver down the spine, and he looks outside. He looks see his mom looking at him with daggers. He's like, hey, hey, mom. Which you know, she basically says, Izuku, what did I say? Which was like, nigga, run, Which you know they have a pet dog named Smokey. He's like nigga randayo Smoky, which you know he fucking ran away with the dog. Which you know she started following him, and she grew bird wings, and she basically started following him. She's like, you won't get away, Joseph Joestar. Why am I making fucking Georgia references?
Okay, that's enough of the jokes. Enough of the jokes.
Okay. Which then you
Yeah,
know
so Bobby gets his ass beat.
Yeah, which you know, once Lori fucking pushes him out, kicks him out of the house, he's like, "You can't do this, Kono Babita."
What the heck?
Well, I'm too into Jojo right now. So let's continue.
Uh, let's
Which then you
continue.
know,
So yeah, he's like, honestly, Bobby's like, I will be back.
which you know, Izuku basically said, "I'd like to see you try," which you know he fucking ran away. Which you know she's like, which
Mhm.
you know, Lori's like, thank you for letting me relieve stress, which is Izuku. Which Izuku doesn't look back. She's like, Izuku. He's like, thought it was Izuku, but it's me, Kono Dioda.
Jeff, stop. Enough with the joke. You gotta get too seriously. Stop.
Yes,
Memes.
the George
Free memes.
references.
Stop.
Which then cut. Let's do this again.
He's like, thanks for helping me. It's like, no problem. Which, yeah, they go back.
Which yeah, which you
Mm.
know, he basically, which you know, he fucking called All Might and
Can
asked.
UA finally be back now? Can you actually go back to UA now?
Yes, yes. Which you know, Izuku basically asked he asked the one for users if he can tell them, which he telepathically told All Might if he can tell his family and share one for all. Basically, which All Might agreed. Which you know, because this
Mhm.
was like a week before UA started, so that they could at least handle at least 5% to 10.
Mm-hmm. Which then everyone is like everyone. I like together everyone around. I want a
Mm-hmm.
family meeting.
Which you know, Izuku basically said I lied about my quirk, basically. Which you know, they're like, wait, you lied?
About one thing about my quirks. One thing.
Which you know,
Someone gave me this quirk.
they're why does they're like given. Wait, what do you mean given? Which you know, he basically says which is like, come, I will show you. Which you know, he taps all their heads with one finger and sends them all to the mindscape. Which you know, they made the one for
They
all
see
users.
everyone, even All Might. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, it's All Might. What?
Which you know, All Might says, "Welcome to the mindscape, young children." Which you know, let's just say, you know how One for All is divided, like it's gonna be
Mhm.
shared. Let's just say All Might shared his quirk with Aizawa. Which you know, he's like, oh no, Aizawa he's like, oh no. I gotta stop with the Joseph with the fucking JoJo references.
Why?
Which you know,
Why?
which you know, he's like, oh, we have a fucking problem, family.
Okay.
Which you know, Zuko says problem, family. Which you know, he's like, you're a problem child. You have a family of problem children. Problem family. Which you know,
I don't like.
Izuku says, true. Which you know, which you know, Izuku explains to them one for all, basically, and how he's gonna share it with them, so they can come to Yui with them, basically. Which you know, they're all thankful to Izuku.
I'll hug him.
hmm And yeah,
Oh,
which Izuku basically trains them all for all. He gives them all. He gives them all one strand of hair to eat, which on a plate. Which they're like, alright, everybody eat this. Which they're like, wait, eat your hair. Which Lucy
sure.
already ate it. Lucy already ate it.
Eric was like, what? What?
which
Even Zuko was like, what?
which Lucy says, let's get this over with. Basically, but in her mind, she's like, yeah, I have Izuku DNA in me. Which Lincoln basically said, so if we eat this, we're gonna have the quirk. Which Izuku says yes. Yeah, and then he says, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yes." Are you sure? He's like, "Yes, yes." Oh my god, I gotta stop with the George references. I gotta stop.
Stop.
I can't.
Calm
stop.
down. Cool down with the references,
I
Jeff.
can't
Please.
stop.
Okay, we have too many.
I know we have too many.
Save them for Wattpad. Save them for Wattpad.
Okay, fine. But time skip a week brought to you. Time skip a week brought to you by King of Crimson.
Can we stop, please?
Okay, but during that week, okay, Izuku and what was her name? Luna, right? The rock star one.
Luna, yeah, Luna.
Yeah, Luna. Okay, Luna basically asked Izuku, if he can play the guitar because she saw him come in with the guitar, but she never asked him. Basically, he's like, huh? Oh yeah, I know how to play it. Which she's like,
He plays it like an expert.
Alright,
He plays it like
hey, I gotta open YouTube. Okay, I don't care if I get copyrighted, but I don't own any of this. So yeah, Doom Eternal Cultist Bass,
Oh my god.
electric guitar. I don't own this. Okay, it's credit to by.
No copyright, please.
As you can see, of Mia, Jack. He played that. Which Luna basically has those. She's like, that was so cool. Basically, can you play another one? Which Izuku basically said sure. Which let me just open my fucking library. Okay, I don't own any of this. But I'll put the links to their channels in the description. Which yeah, alright Jack, I'm gonna share screen for you so that you can also see it. So yeah, he plays this.
Oh my god.
As you can see, he played that too.
Luna's like, whoa, you're an expert.
Which,
How'd you do that?
No. She's also an expert. Remember.
Yeah, she's also an expert, but
She's like, can we play something together? Which Izuku's like, yeah, sure. Which I have to find another one, don't I?
And if I don't do it,
Another fucking music that, Alright, where is it? They play this. Alright, let me share screen for you. Wait, I need to put a better one. Where is it?
where are you looking
This.
for, okay?
This. No, it's not this one either. I'm playing wrong ones. I'm gonna get copyrighted. I'm sorry, but they played a good one, okay? They played fucking the Doom Eternal one and another one too.
So yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna get copyrighted.
links will be in the description. Please don't copyright this
Okay,
man,
please
please.
don't copyright me, please. Copyright Jack.
We'll literally
don't
put the links
copyright
in the
me.
description.
I'm just kidding. Don't copyright him either. Anyways.
Anyway, let's continue with this what if.
So yeah, so they play the guitar together, and yeah, which she's like, we should start a band together. Which Izuku basically knows. He's like, yeah. Which that happens, and yeah, which all of the high, like from Lincoln and above, they get one for all.
Mhm.
But Lincoln is still in middle school, so yeah. So he has more time, but the rest are training harder than Lincoln because yeah, they have around
Mhm.
20% because of Izuku's regiment.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Ew.
which UA starts and they apply for UA, and they got also recommended
Mhm.
by Izuku and All Might.
Mhm. Which Izuku by this time is number 10.
Mm-hmm.
The top
Which yeah,
10.
which yeah, like it reserved number 10 at this point, because yeah, they took
Mhm.
away the license.
Mhm.
Which yeah, that happened, and yeah, which once they come, once Izuku comes back, he goes and sits down. Which Aizawa basically comes and says, "All right, class, today we're gonna have new students." Basically, may you come in? Which Luna comes in, Lena comes in, Lane comes in, Lucy comes in, Lynn comes in. So
Mhm.
does we don't own any of these pictures. So does Lori,
Mhm.
but they're all wearing UA uniform.
I don't say Bakugo's like, wait, isn't that quirkless loud?
Which they all laugh, which Izuku's like, nah, they're not quirks no more. Where they recently
Everyone's
developed it.
like, everyone's like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah, they show their powers.
They show like the electricity around them, which yeah, which
But it's in different color,
yeah,
obviously.
like Lori and Lynn. Lori has yellow. Lynn has like is same as Zuko's color.
Lucy
Uh,
is black.
Lucy has black. Lynn has red, and uh, and what do you call it? Luna has purple.
Mhm.
So yeah, which yeah, they basically go ahead and sit down next to Zuko and shit like that. Which they already
You
confessed to
know the girl.
Zuko. They're already girlfriends with Zuko. So yeah, they don't. They like they're the five. They're only the five. Just them. Nobody else. They because they hate everybody else.
Mhm.
So yeah, which basically Lucy basically says Zuko. She's like Zuko, I wrote your poem. Which Zuko says, "Oh, thank you, Lucy. I'll read it. I'll read it in lunch, basically." Which she hands him over the paper. Which Zuko basically puts it in the bag. Which Lucy basically smiles because yeah, and yeah, which that happens, and yeah, the internships basically happen. Izuku
Yeah,
interns
internships
with Gran
happen.
Torino again, with
You know, no, he
502.
should be given the temporary hero's license again because he already trained with
You know
Gran
what?
Torino.
No, Night Eye, Night Eye.
Yeah, Night Eye. Because we're doing overhaul early.
Yes, we're doing overhaul early, which yeah, which the USJ happened basically, but we're not gonna go over it because Izuku took care of it. So is Luna and all of them.
The
Uh,
USJ? What do you mean USJ happened?
never mind, Jack, never mind.
Stop, stop. The
Okay,
the
okay.
camp thing's still going to happen. The camp thing's still going to happen though.
Yes,
That's fine.
which yeah, which Izuku basically. Let's just say Shigaraki here is a female, but she's not gonna be a ship. So there you can understand something. So yeah, which Izuku basically was interning with Night Eye, and the girls
Hmm.
were interning with Gran Torino because they want more control of one for all. They need more control of one for all.
Hmm.
Which yeah, which Izuku
Which
basically was
which
with Night
also
Eye.
should we say they have all of them have dormant quirks of their own?
Yes, Luna has like if she plays on the guitar or like he fucking plays on guitar, she can manipulate how high the sound is and can make people knocked out from
Wait,
it.
oh, wait, Jeff, do you know Mike Kirby? If
Yes.
he sings, it's destructive.
Yes, that.
That's her.
Yes, but just with the guitar.
Yep.
Uh, Lynn, basically, she has like a slight what do you call it? A creation, like what do you call it? A weapons creation.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy has
Shadows.
gaster blasters.
Aster Blast, like black, but they're black.
Yes, just gaster blasters because bones, like fucking goth. Yes, it would look awesome with her. Not gonna lie.
Mm.
Lynn
Lynn,
Lynn has Mrs. Joke's quirk.
Mr. Joker. Okay. How about Lori?
Lori, she can be, she can use a quirk to make her to make people demand. Like she can demand them to hand villains to basically do something, and they will do it basically.
Command Quirk. There you go.
Yes, command.
Yes.
So yeah,
Anyway,
which yeah that happened, and
Zuko meets Eerie.
yeah, Izuku basically goes down the alley and sees Eri, which he basically bends down. And is like, hey, are you okay? Which she's like, no, basically.
He sees Overhaul, which main bloodlust. Bloodlust Quirk activates.
Mm-hmm. Which he says, Eri, get behind me. Which she does, and he basically says, which Overhaul gets a little tick mark on his face, like he basically calmly, yeah, hello there,
Mm.
young hero or young man. Could you please hand me over my daughter, please? Or could you hand over my daughter,
Shizuka's like,
please?
Shizuka says, "Stop lying to me.
Which
She's not your dog."
Overhaul
Oh.
is angry.
hmm Which yeah, which
Which
he's about to take
he's
off the
like,
glove.
mhm.
About to take off the gloves.
But Eri wants to go to him, but Izuku basically holds her back, and basically says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of this." Which Overhaul lunges at Izuku. Izuku basically moves at a slow time. He goes to a cafe,
hmm
grabs Starbucks, grabs a cookie, grabs an apple,
What?
then comes back, grabs Overhaul's glove, okay, or grabs
mm
Overhaul's hand, breaks it, snaps it 20 times, then
mm
brings his what do you call it? His what do you call it? His burn mask. Takes it. He's like, this is interesting. This is a really cool mask. I'm gonna take it, but I'm gonna redesign it. Which he takes it, and then basically and then he grabs a fucking razor and fucking shaves all of his hair. The fucking
mm
then he fucking brings him to the wall, puts
mm
quirk casting cuffs on him, and then goes back into the same position, or like goes back into sitting on the floor with Eri in his arms with an apple in her hands. Which time fucking goes back to yeah how it used to be, and Overhaul was on
mm
the is on the wall, basically unconscious, and Izuku's just drinking his
mm
Starbucks, and Eri basically was shocked. She sees an apple in front of her, and she eats it because she was hungry. Which Izuku says, "You
mm
want to come with me, Eri?" Which she's like,
She
"Thank you,
does.
thank you." Basically, and Izuku basically nods, and he goes back.
mm
He goes to the hospital, sends it there, which the doctors basically are like, so what you need? Basically, why you hi? Which he basically says, I want to adopt her. Which they basically nod, and they basically give him the adoption papers. Which Izuku, which he signs and does everything. Which he goes to Eri, and basically he tells her that he adopted her, which she starts crying and she hugs him. She's like, "Thank you, Papa." Which he was shocked. Hugs back. She's like, "Don't worry, I'll always protect you, Snowball." Which that happens, and yeah, which
mm
Izuku basically grabs intel on the League of Villains
mhm,
and basically invades them. He just drops Eri off at their home. Basically, with Izuku just
mhm,
saying he has to take care of something. Which
mhm,
he says basically read this letter. He basically told Lori about it.
mhm.
But yeah, But you know, he goes to fucking invade the League of Villains base. Which the League of Villains are planning on attacking with all their nomos that they've created over the time they haven't attacked. Which Izuku
Actually, let's say
basically,
no. Let's say he tells All Might, and then all the heroes are planning the attack.
yeah. But you know, Izuku was planning a little early. Which you know, he fucking went and busted through the fucking door. He's like,
Why would he bust through? Why would he? First of all, yeah,
I'm just
they will
kidding.
not allow him to go.
I'm just kidding. He would be like knock knock, which you know which they're like who's there. He's like he's like hero killer. They're like hero killer who. He's like the hero that will kill you. Which you know he busts down the door and fucking goes black whips all of them to the fucking floor, and fucking
What? It should
and
be
the
All
police
Might.
are
No, let's say
outside
All Might
too.
does it early.
Yeah, All Might and
Hello,
Izuku
Jeff.
bust down together. Which you know they grab
Mhm.
all of the villains and yeah, which you know all for one it comes out. He's like, All Might and your successor, I assume. After I defeat you, I'll take one for all back. Which All Might's like, you will never take it back. Which Izuku says, yeah.
Let's go past me.
Which you know Izuku basically and All Might. You know they do, imagine Izuku versus Izuku and All Might versus Izuku and Bakugo versus
Fine.
Nine. Yeah, that's their fight.
It's a fight, but All for One is has way more experience than mine.
Yes. So you know, let's just say All Might was about to die, but then Izuku unlocked a quirk which is hyper regeneration, which you know he can heal other people and he can heal himself, which you know healed All Might, you know, and All Might basically because of the hyper
Heal All Might
regeneration.
back to his prime.
Yes. Which you know,
Yeah.
All Might basically has electricity going around him. He's like, "Thank you, young Midoriya. I'm back in my prime. Now let's do this." Which you know, Izuku basically says, "Yeah." Which you know, Izuku basically goes into the Super Saiyan mode. So does All Might.
100% mode, which he mastered.
Mhm.
They beat this man.
Mhm. And they send and they
Man,
fucking. Let's just say this time, you know, All Might and Izuku accidentally send him into the middle of the ocean, which kills them. And the League
which
villains are no
actually
more.
is Shigaraki still alive?
No.
Why?
He's been sent to prison, and there's nobody. I also can't pass down his quirk if he's not alive.
Did he pass him down to him before he died?
Let's just say he wanted to pass it down to him that day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that happened,
And
and
yeah,
yeah,
so
which he came back, and yeah, they lived happily ever after and shit. Because I'm not doing a lemon until the Rengoku one, because I'm not in the mood to do a lemon right now, and because my brother's here, I can't do it. He's too innocent still. Which yeah,
yeah, we're not doing
and
it. So yeah, no lemon for now.
yeah, in the Rengoku one there will be. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Well,
This has
actually,
been
after this, we have to do the Naruto. What if Naruto was the
yeah,
only man with chocolate?
yes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, post notifications to get more videos. Do whatever the fuck you want, and you know, always remember, go to sleep.